I travel all over the country, and I like to go to diners and just sit and have a cup of coffee with the locals. More often than not, they'll start talking to me. They'll be like, "Hey, I know you from something." And there's one time where a little old lady looked at me and said, "Hey, you're a big showbiz aren't you?" And I said, "Yeah. Want to hear some stories?" So this is for her. I was once walking down Sunset Boulevard, and The Rock walked up to me, and he said, "Hey, do my nuts look weird?" And I went, "What?" And they weren't out, but then he punched me in the mouth. When I woke up, he was standing over me, and he said, "Never give up, kid." Okay, now that's the only one that's a lie. The rest of these are all true. I was in a comedy festival, and Dick Cavett was the honored guest. If you don't know who he is, you're too young, look him up. He was basically Johnny Carson before Johnny Carson. There goes my ride. So Dick Cavett is backstage with me at this comedy festival, and I was like, "Hey, Dick Cavett, can I take a picture with you? I'm such a massive fan." And he said, and I quote, "Only if I can put both my arms around you and kiss you. I'm about to make an announcement." He was 80 years old. Like, he's about to come out of the closet at 80. Good one, Dick. Still fast on the draw. My favorite probably of all time, I was backstage at a show called Setlist, where you go on stage and then punchlines appear behind you on this big screen, and you have to make up a comedy set based on those lines. You know, like whatever it is, and it's always something really silly, you know, like dinosaur graduation or something like that, and you got to make up a joke based on that. And we were in San Francisco at the Sketchfest Comedy Festival, and I look over, and there's Robin Williams, and I'm just like geeking out, like holy and I get it out of my mind because I'm next, and I go up on stage, and I did great, had an awesome set, you know, off the top of my head, and there's nothing like that. It's like trapeze and like flipping around on the trapeze without a net. And I get off stage, and I just go, "Whoa, that went well." And I look up, and Robin Williams slaps me on the shoulder, looks me right in the face, and goes, "Seamless." And then he ran on stage. So I'm always gonna have that the rest of my life. Seamless. Here's a fun one. I worked with Matt LeBlanc on a show called Man with the Plan, and it's in front of a live studio audience. And so it's a shoot night. We're shooting all our scenes live. And I forget if I'd shot my scene yet or not, but I go in the bathroom, and I'm taking a leak. And then while I'm in there, and I'm in a stall taking a leak, someone comes in and starts peeing in the urinal, and then they fart. And it's the most ungodly, insane fart maybe I've ever heard. I mean, the kind of thing that just rattled the windows, and like the kind of fart that makes domestic animals pee themselves. And I look over, and it's Matt LeBlanc, and he's staring where I am, and he just laughs like a supervillain, like, "Yeah!" And then he runs out of the bathroom. Matt LeBlanc, hilarious. And finally, Kathy Bates and I worked together on a show called Disjointed. I'd never worked with her before. I didn't know her. But before we'd even met, I was dressed as a park ranger, by the way, because me in any kind of uniform equals hilarious. So I'm sitting there with my hat, and I'm looking at my script, and she's rehearsing. And then she comes over, and I look up, and it's Kathy Bates. And before I can say, "Hey, nice to meet you, Kathy Bates," she goes, "Hey, if you get your face out of that script, watch what I'm doing. You might learn something." Clap on the shoulder. Hilarious. Just came at me and just big dicked me right away. Like as a joke. Just said that to this actor she'd never met. It was goddamn amazing. And then without missing a beat, she goes, "I'm Kathy. We'll love that woman forever and ever." And then after the cast party, we get there, we're all hanging out, there's pizza and wine and beer. Kathy Bates comes out with a glass of rosé and a pink wig to match her glass of rosé. That woman does Hollywood right. This has been Hollywood Stories on the Braung Way. Now I'm gonna go sell some ass. Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. If you like that video, follow me here. Go see me on tour here. Or subscribe here. Are we good? It's really hot.